because our deepest wounds often reveal our greatest purpose.
Welcome to the Court of Connection. Your host, Danielle Cobb here. And today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I've been in the season of life where things are changing at a rapid pace. It's been that way for the past, year, but definitely 6 months, where I'm stepping into this version of myself that I don't recognize sometimes. A version of myself that feels terrified to fully step in. A version of myself that is moving in a way that I never thought I would. Because this old version of me was a version that was agreeable, more palatable, I think probably easier to accept, or at least that's the narrative I tell myself. But there's a deep call to leave that version behind. And I don't think many people talk about the grief that happens when you step into newness, when you leave an old version behind. And that's something that has come up for me a lot recently, more so in the last 6 months, but at a rapid pace in the last few. And my show is all about raw, authentic, genuine humanness. And so that is what we're doing today. I have written a conversation between the older version of myself and the new version of myself, and the conflict and the battle that goes on in the mind as you're stepping into this new power, as you're stepping into more honesty, as you're stepping into more truth. It doesn't come without pain. It doesn't come without fear. It doesn't come without sadness. And it doesn't come without a deep, deep trust in the unknown and not being able to rely on certainty. And I know I've mentioned a few times in the last, few months how I have this new relationship with the unknown, this relationship where I don't feel like I need to know what's going to happen next like I used to, where I feel genuinely excited about not knowing most of the time. And then, of course, because I'm human, fear comes in, and sometimes I want to know. Sometimes I want certainty. Sometimes I want to be able to look into the future and just know that everything's okay and that the people in my life will still be there. And the truth is they probably won't. A lot of them will not. Some of them will, and a lot of them will not. My life will be totally different. And so I just want to share some of where my mind has been and the feelings of what that is like to move into another version of yourself. All right, this is called A Conversation Between Who I Was and Who I'm Becoming. New me. I'm sorry, old me. Please don't do this. Do what? Keep changing this much. Look what already happened. People are already uncomfortable. People are already moving away. Some people don't understand us anymore. Some people liked the old version better. I know. No, I don't think you do. Do you remember how hard we worked to become this person? To become easy? To become lovable? To become needed? To become the one that never asks for too much? Do you remember how hard we worked to belong? Yeah, I remember. Then why are we risking it? Why are we risking relationships? Why are we risking being misunderstood? Why are we risking becoming someone people don't recognize anymore? Because I don't think that I can unknow myself now. Yeah, that's the hard part. Because now we know. Always. I'm angry. What are you angry about? About how hard this is? about the fact that we did all this work and somehow it feels lonelier sometimes? About how nobody talks about what happens when you start changing and suddenly the rooms that used to fit don't fit anymore? About how exhausting it is to outgrow your own life. Yeah, me too. Can I tell you something embarrassing? Always. Sometimes I miss when we didn't know. Back when we could people please without noticing. Back when we could shapeshift and call it being easygoing. Back when we could overfunction and call it love. Back when we could abandon ourselves without feeling it happen. Because now I can literally watch myself doing it. I can feel myself saying, it's okay when it's not. I can feel myself shrinking. I can feel myself wanting to disappear. And somehow that feels worse. I know. Sometimes I wonder that too. If people loved us more before. That's not reassuring. I know. But can I tell you what I think? What? I think we were easier before. Easier to predict, easier to consume, easier to manage. But I don't think we were more loved. I'm scared. Me too. No, I mean really scared. Because I think we're changing enough that eventually our whole life might look different. Relationships, friendships, work, everything. Yeah, I think that's possible. Then why are we doing it? Because staying was starting to hurt more. I don't know how to do this. Then what are we doing? We're learning. Learning how to stay. Learning how to not abandon ourselves every day, every time fear shows up. Learning how to disappoint people without disappearing. Learning how to survive being misunderstood. Are we going to be okay? I don't know exactly what happens next, but I know this. We're not leaving ourselves this time. Can I come too? You always could. You just don't have to carry us anymore. The battle between the old version that is constantly scanning for safety, that is trying to find all of the easy ways to be accepted, be palatable, don't take up too much space, don't offend. That version just doesn't fit anymore. It doesn't fit. I don't know how to show up in rooms and pretend to care about things I don't care about. I don't know how to stay in relationships that aren't fulfilling anymore because it makes you comfortable. I don't know how to pretend that I agree with the ways that you think and believe. I don't know how to do that anymore. And at the same time, the discomfort of allowing myself to not be accepted, not be liked, not be as palatable is equally painful at moments. And so this is really for the people who are in the in-between. The people who are shedding an old version of themselves that at moments still feels alive. This is for the person who in relationships doesn't fully know how to be honest because they're afraid of how the other person might feel, how they might take it, what emotion and feeling I might have to experience or hold, or what tension is available to me when I do say the thing that I mean. This is for the person who shows up at work in a high capacity and does really well, and then when they get home, they don't know how to stand in their power. They self-abandon to their partner. This is for the person who feels like they have to play small, but really their soul is calling them to something great and big. Something that means they have to take up a lot of space. Something that means that they might be rejected. This is for the person who is on the edge of standing in their fullness, but can't quite take the step over. This is for the person who is tired of pretending and shape-shifting and being a version of themselves that no longer fits, but can't quite get to the other side. I've been doing this work for the past 6 months and really the past year, but this past year has been about really stepping into full alignment, leaving a career that didn't fit anymore, leaving relationships that didn't fit anymore, starting to show up with more honesty in relationships, speaking up and asking for what I need, even though that was really, really unsafe as a kid. Being willing to trust the unknown when there's no real plan, there's no real guarantee on the other side, but a deep calling forward. And what I will tell you is that this journey does not come without fear. This journey does not come without sometimes falling to the ground in tears. This doesn't come without feeling angry at moments that I still struggle, that it's still hard to ask for what I need, but fucking doing it anyway. I am starting to take on coaching clients, and I'm looking for people who relate to this message, people who are ready to step into their fullness, to stop abandoning, to stop shrinking, to stop making themselves small. That is a client that I am working with. So if any of that resonates with you, I am thrilled to explore if this is a good fit for you. I'm excited to step into this chapter. I think there is a massive movement happening in the collective where people are tired of playing small. People are tired of operating from this old version. And I can help you get there. So I'm so grateful for all of the people in my life that have helped catapult me in this direction, who have given me the space to be messy and to get to figure it out, and who have just held a beautiful space for me to step into my fullness. I don't know what's next, and I don't really care, but I know this. We have one lifetime as who we are right now. I get to live this one life as Danielle. And I am no longer interested in living in a version that feels easy to tolerate, that feels palatable, that feels agreeable, that plays small. Thank you so much for tuning in to this mini episode. I'm looking forward to connecting with some of you. And if you made it this far, I appreciate your support as always. Until next time.
May the cord that binds us to one another and to Source remind you that you are never alone, always guided, and always home.